Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Mascorro. I am currently a sophomore at the University of Houston, pursuing a career in mechanical engineering. What we're going to go over today is a MATLAB script, a script my colleagues and I, my colleagues Emily Rivas and Danny Hume came up with. First of all, I will give you a little background information about securing cyberspace. The truth is that mostly anything is vulnerable to cyber attacks, endangering our economy, transportation systems, businesses, military, etc. Originally, the common approach to securing cyberspace has been by perimeter defense. What this type of security method does is it places routers and firewalls at subnetwork to block access to hackers. However, experts in cyberspace and cybersecurity note that this type of security is not as efficient as it used to be. Any type of defense could eventually be avoided or penetrated. To better understand the challenge, we need to understand the thinking that leads to deliberate cybercrime, the decisions or reasons that drive a person to hack someone's personal information. We also need to understand that technology is changing at a fast pace, creating new methods of securing, but with the same possibility of giving a hacker new methods of hacking. Most importantly, it is critical to understand that anyone has the capability of accessing and manipulating the internet with anonymity. It is also essential to understand that many motives could be behind an attack, such as gathering information or controlling vital public systems. The main challenge engineers have is to innovate new methods that are versatile, unique, and constantly improving. Better security for data flow through the internet or any system could relieve some threat of anyone accessing vital information, allowing for better encryption as well as narrowing down a list that could show any potential attackers. One way to do this is building better programming languages that already have security codes within the scripts. What this security program could do is be able to what this security program could do is be able to detect any features that may be hackable even before the software installed, instead of waiting until a system has been hacked to find out the program is vulnerable to cyber attacks. And now that I have given you a little background information about securing cyberspace, I will tell you a little bit about our script. So our script goal was to compare the data, a user inputted data to the data we have in a XLS file. It's really really long, and this is why when we run our program, it takes a little bit of time to actually run, since because of the big amount of data we gathered. And so I would I'm not I'm not going to guide you all to our entire script. The reason for this is that it is really complex, really long, and it will take a lot of time for this. So this is our main script, but we also have other functions. For example, this one grabs numerical variables compared to all malicious normal test cases. This one creates graphs comparing numerical variables as well as considering non-numerical variables. And this one finds the percent difference between the data the user inputted and the data we have. This is based off, again, all malicious normal test cases. So yeah, there's this functions. Now let's go back to our script. What the user wants to input is an activity online, and what this program does for them is it determines whether the online activity is most likely to be a cyber attack or just a normal online activity. And this is mainly for engineers. Again, a lot of the variables we have, a lot of people don't know about. Only engineers and like other computer science. So here, how many numerical variables would you like to compare? And if you don't know what variables do you have, you could just put zero, input zero, and this will output all the variables we have for y'all to choose and to input to compare. So here we could see that we have 25 different variables. Now it asks us again, how many numerical variables would you like to compare? Let's say 4. Oh, but I accidentally pressed 5. So what the menu does, a menu pops out asking, is the number of variables correct? I would say no because I meant to put 4. Now that I have 4, it asks me again, is the number of variables correct? Yes. Now it would ask me to choose the variables in order from 1 to 4, which now for now is 4 because I chose to input 4 variables. So let's say the duration of the online activity, the S bytes, let's say the KPTS variable, and lastly, let's say swing. Are you sure with your selected variables? Yes. Now, please enter value for variable duration. So for my first variable, let's say the online activity, the the engineers are trying to discover whether it's a cyber attack or not. Last 0.5 seconds. Again, the cyber attacks happen really quickly, and this is why engineers and other professionals have a hard time um, knowing who actually are causing these attacks. So now please enter a value for variable S bytes. Let's say let's say the online activity has 130 S bytes. Now please enter a value for variable dpkts. Let's say it has 28. Now please enter a value for variable swin. Now, are you sure you have inputted the right variables? Yes. Again, in our script, we strongly worked with data validation to make sure everything was right, and we constantly made asked the users so we could make sure that whatever they were entering was what they meant to enter. So now, do you have any non-numerical values? And if you don't know what is this, you could just press the check, and this outputs the non-numerical variables that we have that the user could enter. Now let's go back to our menu. Do we have any numerical variables? No. Would you like to graph based off test cases, malicious, let's say based on attacks? Would you like to evaluate your variables with a graph? Yes. Which variable would you like to plot? S bytes. And here's as far as we got. We weren't able to know what was wrong with our script that didn't let us plot, but this was the main idea of our script, pretty much to graph whatever the user inputted and compare it to whatever the data we have to determine if what the engineers entered, the online activity they entered, was a cyber attack or was more of a normal attack. I mean, a normal activity that they didn't have to worry about. So yeah, I feel that if this code is finished, it could really help engineers, and it could be a stepping stone to better securing cyberspace. Again, thank you guys for watching the video.